Nadir. Nadir, the meaning is the lowest point. The verse moment. You say he was in the nadir of despair after he lost his job. That is the lowest or the most unsuccessful point in a situation. Nadir in astronomy, you see, it has a different meaning. It is a point on the sky of the celestial sphere. You see directly below the observer. Now that's a technical word, you see. So the lowest point, watermark, the zero, the pits, the rock bottom, that would be the synonyms of nadir. The antonym would be the highest point, that is the zenith, the acme, ACME, MACME, the climax. You say he reached the nadir of despair. I just gave you an example. He was in the nadir of despair. But when it comes to, say, the highest point, the opposite, then you say that, at that time he was at the zenith of his success, the apex, the culmination, the crown. Naive, N-A-I-V-E. Naive means being innocent, a belief that people's intentions in general are good or that life is simple. That is being innocent, unsuspecting, artless, cleverless, gullible, plain, natural, unsophisticated. That is naive. You say that she had a naive expression on her face. That is an innocent expression, artless, gullible expression. The antonym would be, cunning, shrewd, sly, clever. You are sometimes too naive to understand the complications of science. Sometimes you use it in that way also. You say, I am too naive to understand all this logarithm and logarithms of mathematics or even of life. Look at this word nebulous. Nebulous is something which is unclear, which is vague, which is hazy, which is indistinct, indefinite, cloudy, fuzzy, misty, blurred. It's not foggy, faint, shadowy, dim, obscure. It could be also shapeless, formless, amorphous, A-M-O-R-P-H-O-U-S, amorphous, without a shape. When you talk about nebulous clouds, when you say nebulous clouds, you mean to say that the clouds you see don't have any kind of shape. But then we are talking about ideas, right, or thoughts. When you talk about nebulous ideas, that means you're talking about confused, indistinct, indefinite, unclear ideas. The opposite would be something which is accessible, which is clear, which is lucid, which is non-ambiguous, which is obvious, plain, unequivocal. Look at the word neophyte. Neophyte is a beginner, a probationer, one who has just started, you see, any kind of activity. He may not be an expert in it. He may not be an expert. That is an inexperienced person. You see, an inexperienced person who is a beginner, a learner, a novice, a newcomer. You have the word tyro, T-Y-R-O, tyro, a beginner, a fledgling, a trainee, an apprentice, a probationer. You have other words like tenderfoot and greenhorn, a newbie or a newie or a rookie, R-O-O-K-I-E, rookie. You all use these words to indicate what you call a beginner. You say we offer training to all neophytes who want to learn reading and who want to learn teaching. Sometimes you use the word neophyte when you're talking about a person who newly converts into another religion. You call that person neophyte. The opposite would be experienced person. You see, an experienced person, a genius, an expert. When you're talking about an artist, then you use the word a master or skilled artist, you use the word virtuoso, V-I-R-T-U-O-S-O, virtuoso, which is opposed to tyro, T-Y-R-O, tyro is a beginner. You see a maestro, an artist, a prodigy, and you see a past master, a specialist, a veteran. He is an ace swimmer, A-C-E, ace. Now, ace is exactly the opposite of neophyte. Or he is a maven, M-A-V-E-N, maven. Maven refers to a person who is expert, Let's take the next word, nomadic. Nomadic is actually from the word nomad, and nomads were supposed to be tribes that kept on moving from one place to another. That is wandering. Now, nomadic, as I told you, is wandering, not living at a particular place. You say he spent a nomadic life. That is, he was unsettled all his life. Words that are similar to nomadic are, itinerant, vagabond, migratory, that is, ambulant, A-M-B-U-L-A-N-T, ambulant, errant, E-R-R-A-N-T, errant. It could be peripatetic, P-E-R-I-P-A-T-E-T-I-C. You say, well, I led a peripatetic life for at least 30 years, moving from one place to another. Roving, R-O-V-I-N-G, roving or roving, wandering, vagrant life, V-A-G-R-A-N-T, vagrant life. He led a vagrant life, a gallivanting life. The antonym for nomadic would be settled. A settled life, that would be an immobile life, a standing life, a stating life, a stationary life. You're settled at one place. It's an urban life. Obstinate. An obstinate person is a person hard to deal with, unreasonably determined to act in a particular way. You could call him, a stubborn person, a headstrong person, a dogged person, an obdurate person. One who doesn't compromise, uncompromising. You have the word intransigent, I-N-T-R-A-N-S-I-G-E-N-T, intransigent, intractable, right? Sometimes you use the word unbending, mulish, M-U-L-I-S-H, mulish, pig-headed. A pig-headed person could be very obdurate. You have another word, recalcitrant, R-E-C-A-L-C-I-T-R-A-N-T, recalcitrant. Refractory, R-E-F-R-A-C-T-O-R-Y, refractory. A stiff person, unrelating, unshakable, tenacious, persevering, inexorable, firm, steadfast, determined, right? You have all these words, uncompromising for the word stubborn. These are the synonyms. You say the teacher was very stubborn, or the student was very stubborn, or you might say that the people who were on strike were very stubborn. They wouldn't come to terms with anyone. So that is the word stubborn. The opposite would be cooperative, amiable, docile, friendly, yielding, compliant, C-O-M-P-L-I-A-N-T, compliant, amenable, tractable. You had the word intractable for stubborn, tractable. So they are the opposites of the word obstinate. Take the next word, obviate. Obviate means to remove a difficulty, especially so that the action to deal with it becomes unnecessary. That is, to prevent, to avert, to preclude. You say that possibly the hard work of the students will obviate the need for copying an examination. Or you say that if the countries finally resolve the issue, then the resolution will obviate the need for a war. So obviate means to preclude, to prevent, to remove, to get rid of, to do away with, right? To eliminate, to avert, to avoid, to foreclose, to counter. The government had taken proper measures to obviate any kind of danger to the lives of the people. That is obviation. Strictly speaking, you may not have many antonyms for obviate. Possibly obviate could mean you require, you involve, it necessitates, it demands, it needs. Something is required, something is obviated, it can be ignored, avoided, precluded. The opposite would be something which is required, which involves, which calls for, which necessitates, which demands. Look at the next word, odious. Odious smell is a hateful smell, unpleasant, vile, loathsome, abominable, disgusting, that is odious. Now, something odious could be something repulsive, something repugnant, something disgusting, something offensive, objectionable, vile, foul, aberrant. It could be nauseating. It could be what you call execrable, infernal, detestable, deplorable, sickening, reprehensible, noxious, putrid. You say an odious smell. Putrid, yucky, Y-U-C-K-Y, yucky. It could be disagreeable, contemptible. Naturally, the opposite would be something which is admirable, amiable, pleasant, something charming, something agreeable, something delightful. The next word is palatable. You use that word, you see food or drink that is has a pleasant taste, acceptable. I think it's a word that is formed out of the palate. The palate is the upper roof, the roof of the mouth, you see, that is the palate. So something palatable, food or drink is something which is potable, acceptable, agreeable, delicious, pleasant to taste. Even when you're talking about an action or proposal that is acceptable or satisfactory, you say, well, that was palatable to us. Even when you're talking about words, you see, or language, you see, don't use language which is not palatable. Use the palatable language. That is language not laced with abuses and other things, you see. Use a palatable language. The situation sometimes could not be palatable, you see. You couldn't relish the situation. So similar words or words related to or synonymous words could be tasty, appetizing, potable, P-O-T-A-B-L-E, potable, delectable, delicious, savory, S-A-V-O-U-R, savory, flavorsome or flavorful, luscious, L-U-S-C-I-O-U-S, luscious, toothsome, dainty, even the word scrumptious, S-C-R-U-M-P-T-I-O-U-S, scrumptious. These days you have the word, yummy, Y-U-M-M-Y, yummy, right? Comestible, sapid, S-A-P-I-D, sapid, which is the opposite possibly of vapid. So these are the words, you see, which are similar to palatable. The words that stand in opposite, you see, are tasteless, insipid, unpalatable, right? Unpalatable language, bland, tasteless, dull. They are the opposites of palatable. Look at the next word, poultry. Something which is poultry is low in quality, insignificant, unimportant, petty, trifling, base, mean, worthless, trinket, insignificant, inconsequential, negligible, nugatory, N-U-G-A-T-O-R-Y, nugatory, worthless, trivial, bauble, B-A-U-B-L-E, bauble, trinket. These are the synonyms. The antonyms would be something which is important, valuable, significant, outstanding, noble, superior. The next word is parity, P-A-R-I-T-Y. I find your analogy inaccurate because I do not see the parity between the two illustrations. See, the analogy is inaccurate and the parity between the two illustrations. The pilots of the Indian Air Force would like to see pay parity with pilots of civil aviation. Pay parity. Parity is equality, especially of pay or position. Similarity, that is parity. The opposite would be inequality, disparity, dissimilarity. The next word is penury, P-E-N-U-R-Y, penury. So he lived in abject penury, but now they are quite well off. What do you mean by penury? Penury is severe poverty. Paupery, P-A-U-P-E-R-Y, paupery. Indigence, I-N-D-I-G-E-N-C-E, indigence. Lacking, want. Destitution, privation. The opposite of penury would be wealth, affluence, rich. The next word is perpetual, P-E-R-P-E-T-U-A-L, perpetual.
They wish to live in a world of perpetual youth. The lovers of Keats' Grecian urn will live young perpetually. Perpetually means continuing in the same way forever, everlasting, constant, ceaseless, eternal, incessant, continuous. The opposite would be transitory, temporal, temporary, sporadic. The next word is petulant. Petulant. As soon as the children become tired and petulant, I create a diversion by telling them a story. Well, he didn't invite me to his party, so I am certainly not inviting him to nine. She's mine, she said petulantly. If you are petulant, you are irritated, annoyed, complaining in a rude or a touchy way. You are irritable, you are peevish, peevish, peevish. The opposite of petulant would be pleasant, easygoing. The next word is plausible. 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 His protestation of innocence was so plausible that we all believed him. The figures presented by the accountant were plausible, but when tallied, they were found wrong. Plausible is something, you see, which has a nuance of truth in it, which has a show of truth, but it is open to doubt. Something or someone that seems true but is not, seemingly likely to be true or able to be believed, but it may not be correct. It may be doubtful. You say, well, that is a plausible explanation for being late. So it appears to be true, but it is doubtful. The explanation is doubtful. Synonyms of plausible would be like feasible, reasonable, bland, colorable, glib, 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 specious, specious, specious. The opposite would be implausible, genuine. The next word is quaint, quaint, quaint. Her quaint clothes and old-fashioned languages marked her as an eccentric. His mannerisms are quaint but very endearing. Quaint is sometimes used as in the sense of old-fashioned, odd, antique, archaic, archaic. If you say he had a quaint look on his face, that means he had an odd look on his face, a strange look on his face. He replied to my questions in a very quaint manner, strange manner. The opposite of quaint would be picturesque, modern. The next word is querulous, querulous, querulous. She gets irritated with querulous children who start crying at the slightest excuse. He became increasingly dissatisfied and querulous in his old age. Querulous is complaining, being fastidious, being finicky, F-I-N-I-C-K-Y, finicky, being fretful, being a malcontent, being petulant. Some people have a querulous temperament. They have a querulous, irritable temperament, all the time petulant, irritating. The opposite of querulous would be friendly, sociable, contented, satisfied, amiable, amicable. The next word is rampant, rampant, rampant. The rampant weeds in the garden choked the asters and marigolds until the flowers died. He said that he had encountered rampant prejudice in his attempts to get a job. You see, something is rampant, it gets worse and it spreads fast. It is uncontrolled. You see, your prejudices may be rampant, a disease may be rampant. Synonyms could be unrestrained, unbridled. The opposite would be controlled, restrained, curbed, limited, circumscribed. You say corruption is rampant in the department. They never do your work without taking a bribe. The next word is recluse, recluse, recluse. After obtaining the divorce, Mohit became a recluse. He's a millionaire recluse who refuses to give interviews. A recluse is a person who lives alone and avoids going outside talking to other people. Recluse is, in other words, a hermit, 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 and ascetic, 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 an introvert, a loner, 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 keeps to himself. Right? The opposite of recluse would be a socialite, someone who's sociable, someone who's gregarious. The next word is renounce. RENOUNCE. She renounced her family and country for a life of adventure abroad. The leader renounced the use of violence. What do you mean by renounce? When you renounce, you say formally or publicly that you no longer own, support, believe in, or have a connection with something. You abandon it, right? For instance, you have political parties making comments or remarks. So someone in a political party, say A, makes a remark which is not welcome. So the party, you see, renounces that remark. It says, well, we have nothing to do with what the member has said. We don't agree to what he says. They renounce. You can renounce the world, that is, you give up the world, you abandon the world, you don't want to live in the world. You say he renounced his family and went to live in the forest. To disown, to repudiate, to abdicate, to abjure. ABJURE, abjure. The opposite of renounce would be to assert, to claim, to continue, to aver, AVER, aver. I think that's all for today. Thank you.